If you're thinking about reapplying to law school next cycle, watch this video. In a super competitive law school admission cycle like this one, there's always going to be a contingent of applicants who will think, if I just applied next cycle, maybe I'll do better just because it's less competitive. But I need to offer a few words of caution here. It's obviously extremely early on to be making any real conclusions about what next cycle is going to look like. However, there is no particular sign that next cycle is going to be significantly less competitive than this cycle. And in fact, it might even be a little bit up. But even if it's only, 1, 2% up from this cycle, that's even more competitive. The political factors at play this past cycle during an election year seem to be only more present and more blatant in our everyday lives, such that I would guess that the political and legal situation in the United States will continue to galvanize people to go to law school. The economy and the entry-level job market are also looking tough, which is another thing that typically leads to at least a temporary increase in law school applicants, because if college graduates are unable to get jobs, some percentage of them will go to law school instead. And apart from just overall competitiveness, there are a few other factors that would make me pretty cautious to reapply next cycle. Higher education in general is in a pretty volatile place right now. There's everything happening with grant funding, there's the upcoming demographic cliff. Both of these factors lead to a situation where it's at least possible at some schools that central universities will need their law schools to generate more revenue. So that means a bigger class and/or less scholarship money. There are also the ongoing developments at the Department of Education with regards to diversity and diversity initiatives in higher education and education generally. And that is very much touching law schools. The American Bar Association just decided that they were going to stop enforcing their diversity mandate. That was a standard that all accredited law schools had to abide by, that they no longer have to. And that, along with the direction that they are getting from the Department of Education, makes it at least possible that, especially for applicants who come from underrepresented backgrounds, next cycle might be notably harder. I need to disclaim that truly unprecedented things are happening right now, and that makes all of this hard to predict. I am not saying that no applicants should reapply or that you specifically shouldn't reapply. It's a very personal decision, and there are tons of factors that go into it beyond just the competitiveness of the cycle. What I am saying is that I would be very, very cautious of reapplying just relying on hoping next cycle is going to be less competitive or easier for you. Just a word of caution, or a few minutes of caution.